Hello, this is our SDG presentation on single-use plastics on UBCO's campus. Throughout this presentation, you'll hear from me, Matthew Kopp, my teammates Bryson and Calvin.
Our SDG project is on SDG number 11, which is Sustainable Cities and Communities, which we localized to the UBC Okanagan campus. Sustainability affects a lot of people, especially important stakeholders within the school. We chose to pursue this topic because of that reason. This topic of single-use plastics affects us, especially for the next 4 years, as well as the future of many staff and students. We took this topic and applied it directly to the use of single-use plastics. We noticed the use of these plastics across the campus, and we saw that they were inefficient and harmful. So we saw a clear opportunity. We took advantage of this opportunity to start a positive progression in this issue by using an efficient and effective solution. Sustainability is an important issue that many people are talking about globally. We wanted to get a head start for our campus. We want to keep the campus clean and efficient for many years to come. Our focus for the duration of the semester has been to create an efficient and effective solution for single-use plastics on the campus. We believe we have done just that. By minimizing the use of these plastics, we have added years of sustainability and life for the campus as well as quality. As far as teamwork goes, we all feel we were a great team. We worked really well together, and we would definitely work together again. So on the side here, I have 5 components of teamwork that we excelled at during the semester, and then just a few questions I'm going to be focusing on answering right now. So for efficiency, before we met, we would make agendas of what needed to be done, and we would make sure that we weren't preoccupied with other work so we could focus on the task at hand. Effectiveness. We all had different skill sets that blended together really well, and we all taught each other different lessons, and we would help each other in any class as we were in several classes together. For responsibilities, we would clearly outline what needed to be done and by who, and to make sure there was no uncertainty, we'd all ask questions and make sure everything was just clearly stated before the end of a meeting. For quality, we would complete assignments a few days ahead of Sandy's deadlines, and just to make time for editing and making a complete and quality assignment. Overall, we learned many things during the duration of the semester, and there was 3 that we had in mind that were our key issues that we focused on improving. So first, we have time management, just overall time management, getting things done earlier, allocating time for certain things. The second one was target dates, as I previously stated. We would set earlier target dates so we would have time for everything and just make sure we could make those final edits. And communication. We all noticed that communication was the biggest issue of the semester, that if our communication slipped a little bit, we would see a little downward sloping in our quality of work and just everything else in our group work. So communication was very key.
In order to incorporate our solution toward single-use plastics on UBCO, it is important to identify the stakeholders that may be related to this issue or have an interest in our project. In the process of finding these stakeholders, we have found a few stakeholders that could be positively or negatively affected by our project and must be taken into consideration. The first stakeholder would be the current and future student staffs of UBCO, as they will be affected by the sustainability of our campus for at least another 4 years. Students and staff on campus will require a clean and sustainable work and study environment, and it would be in their best interest if we could carry out our project without interfering with their daily lives. Their expectations would be for us to help create a clean environment to work on campus, as well as being able to help the campus reduce its overall carbon footprint. The desired outcome to this issue would be for UBCO to incorporate an eco-friendly solution to single-use plastics without significantly affecting the profit of businesses on campus or affecting the daily lives of staff and students on campus. Another group of stakeholders would be the Board of Governors for UBC. They will require us to submit a complete and organized business plan for our project highlighting our goals, the expected costs, and how our team would go about implementing this solution. The desired outcome would be for us to eliminate single-use plastics without incurring any cost towards the school, as well as creating a sustainable environment for our campus. Their expectations would be for us to implement a solution to single-use plastics that would be productively efficient, where we would be using as minimal resources as possible. Another group would be the municipal government of Kelowna, where they would benefit as a successful project would reduce the amount of garbage that would land in the Glenmore landfill, thus preventing further plastic waste. Looking at other countries and companies take big steps to help the global fight against plastic waste has been very helpful when it came to creating our own solutions for UBCO. For example, companies across the UK such as Costa and Chili's have partnered up with Refill UK to create water refill stations all across the UK as a means of promoting the use of reusable water bottles and reducing the use of single-use plastics. This was so successful that it created around 200 refill stations across the UK. Another clothing retailer known as Everlane has begun making outerwear such as fleeces and jackets through polyester which was created through recycled plastic bottles. Another company in particular we have taken great inspiration from, known as Big Belly, has been successful in improving waste management through creating a solar-powered waste recycling unit, which is supposedly able to compact 8 times more waste than the standard bins, which we will talk about when it comes to the alternative solutions. Many countries have begun improving their waste management and recycling with innovative solutions. For example, Sweden has a solution that will benefit Canada in particular, involving a waste-to-energy program where instead of being thrown into landfills, the trash is instead being used instead of coal and other natural gases to generate electricity, which is used to supply heat for homes, which can be very convenient for Canadian winters. And it's also used to power many vehicles such as trucks, buses, and even some private cars and taxis. In fact, Sweden was so successful with this that they began importing waste from other European countries because it ran out of waste. Some countries such as Norway have introduced incentives to the public for recycling, such as using smart containers which give cash rewards upon recycling. How this works is that an additional fee is charged for buying plastic bottles or cans, which if recycled in smart containers after its use, customers can redeem the fee to be used as cash or store credit. This was so successful that this led to Norway being able to recycle at least 97% of all of its plastic bottles.
These are final alternatives. One alternative being a waste management system created by the company Big Belly. The implementation of this system would deliver a waste collection savings of up to 80% on the space single-use plastics take up in garbages across campus. Big Belly's solar compactors use photovoltaic solar cells to convert the sun's energy into electricity. Big Belly compactor is powered by its own solar panel, a carbon-free source of energy, eliminating the need for a connection to the electric grid. However, the implementation of this system would be extremely costly for the university, with an estimated initial cost of $60,000 to $70,000. Another alternative our group thought of was a single-use plastic ban on campus. This would ban the sale of products that contain single-use plastics, such as coffee cup lids and plastic cups. A strict ban of these plastics would force all vendors on campus to incorporate alternatives to single-use plastics in the goods and services they sell. The banning of single-use plastics has been implemented on numerous cases worldwide, most successfully in China in 2017. In 2017, the Chinese government implemented a ban of non-biodegradable plastic containers, which resulted in a decrease in plastic container waste between 60 and 80%. Our team believes there would be a similar reduction to the single-use plastic waste on campus if this ban were to be implemented. Finally, our last solution would be a single-use plastic tax. This tax would be implemented by retailers across the campus, and it would tax its customers an additional charge between 5 and 15 cents with the sale of a single-use plastic item. This extra charge would be small enough to not affect the number of customers for businesses on campus, however, would act as a deterrent to single-use plastics and would encourage the use of reusable materials. Our team has researched the effectiveness of single-use plastic taxes, which have already been implemented in numerous states in America and proven effective. We believe these results would translate on a smaller scale to UBCO's campus. We have ranked each of our team's final 3 alternatives based on what we have deemed as the most essential stakeholder criteria. We have created a point system weighing the criteria that we deemed more essential heavier than the criteria that was not as essential. Our team used qualitative analyses based on cost and time because this is what we deemed as the most vital criteria to the UBC's Board of Governors and the staff and students of UBCO's campus. Our quantitative analyses, such as initial cost, cost to implement, and time to implement, were based on previous studies that have demonstrated an approximate cost and timeline for each of these solutions. Our qualitative analyses were based off the students and staff of UBCO, the municipal government of Kelowna, and businesses that operate UBCO's campus. Our team considered the irritation that would be caused to the students and staff of UBCO, as well as the businesses, if a new system was implemented to combat single-use plastics. For this consideration, we evaluated the number of disruptions each solution would cause and ranked them accordingly in this chart. We created a ranking system by researching the amount of disruption each solution had caused in various studies and basing our points off that system. Our group considered the moral and ethical issues based on the solution we have presented. We have not been able to find any negative moral or ethical problems based off our solutions. However, we have considered that it would be unethical to not create a solution to the single-use plastic problem on UBCO's campus, and that it is in our team's morals that we take the time to research a solution that can positively affect the lives of all staff and students on the campus and serve as a model for other institutions to follow. In summary of our team's SDG project, we have all been educated on a major environmental problem on UBCO's campus. Our research into the amount of waste created by single-use plastics has demonstrated to us how major a problem it is, not only on campus or in Kelowna, but worldwide. Based on the research we have done into this problem of single-use plastics, our team has agreed upon a single-use plastic tax as the strongest solution to the problem. The risk involved in this solution is very low. The tax would not be heavy enough to harm businesses on campus, yet would act as a deterrent to students who use single-use plastics daily. There would be no cost incurred by UBC or local businesses on campus. The cost would be wholly incurred by students and staff of UBCO. However, this is not a necessary cost. The single-use plastic tax can easily be avoided by bringing reusable containers or coffee cups to school every day. Overall, our team believes a single-use plastic tax would be a highly viable solution. The implementation, cost, risk, and timeline make this the best solution to the single-use plastic problem on campus.